We're here this afternoon with the first generation Apple TV. Now you may be asking yourself, isn't there a second generation Apple TV that's just been released? Well, there is. But Apple has inadvertently created a secondary market for a product that's been out since 2006. If you go online now, one of these first generation Apple TVs can be going for as much as $500. Now why is that? Well, it's a good question. Built inside of the first generation Apple TV is a 160 gigabyte hard drive. This is a piece of hardware that the second generation Apple TV does not have. And what does that mean? Well, with the second generation Apple TV, your computer needs to stay on for the Apple TV to work. With the first generation Apple TV, your computer can be shut down and remain off, and the Apple TV functions as a very inexpensive media server. Let's take a closer look. The back of the Apple TV is very easy to understand. And starting at the left, we have a power port, we have a USB port. The USB port is actually used by hackers to custom install versions of operating systems such as Boxee or Xbox Media Center. There is an Ethernet port, which is recommended for use with the Apple TV. Wi-Fi doesn't really do very well with streaming video. There's an HDMI port for your television. There's also component video. This first generation Apple TV supports up to 1080p video resolution. The second generation Apple TV only supports up to 1080i. Once again, an example of a newer product having less functionality than the older product, which is in part to explain the $500 price point for this older product. And then we have the stereo audio left and right, and then an optical audio out. Once again, if you're looking for Apple iTunes playlists, music, photos, movies, Netflix, all the above available on your TV, and you don't mind leaving your computer on, by all means, go out and buy a $99 second generation Apple TV. But for those who do mind having to keep their computer on and like the idea of an always-on media server in the house, you won't find a better deal than the first generation Apple TV.